Welcome to the Lowdown on Ridertown with the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, 94.1 KRNA, 98.1 KHAK, and the Union Station. Good to be back here. We've got a packed crowd tonight in attendance. All the players are here. Valentines for Vets is the main reason why. You can see we're pretty patriotic up here on stage. Glad I wore my Rough Riders green blazer tonight. Picked us out for a special occasion. Coach, I'll have you know with this blazer, usually with my blazers, get them at the store. Maybe sometimes even get them tailored. This one, I'm not lying, JCPenney.
Is that right?
Yeah, JCPenney with this blazer.
I like it.
It's camel hair too, yeah.
Very nice.
It's camel hair. So we got Rider Green. We got a stacked panel up here tonight. We have 3 players. It's one of the reasons why I'm calling this one Triple Threat. So we're calling this theme in this show, in addition to Valentines for Vets. Of course, as you guys have probably heard by this point, we're going to have the players stick around afterwards, so about 6 o'clock or so, and you guys are free to join them to make Valentines for Vets. Then I think the plan is to have those delivered up to the KHAK studio. So a good time, a lot of people in-house tonight. The Union Station, I want to thank them once again for having us and for getting the great food, great drinks, the specials during the broadcast. Always appreciate that. You can sign up for an autographed jersey each and every week. I think the box is still at the back for that. One important note this week that I want to make use of or want to make note of, there is no Rough Riders show next week. So no Lowdown on Ridertown next Tuesday night, mainly because the Riders, I think, have an away game that following night, that Wednesday. So we're going to take a break next week. We're back at it at the Union Station on February 13th. So that's a Tuesday once again, 5:30 to 6. So once again, no show next week. Just want to make sure everyone knows that. And if you happen to be listening to this at a later date, no show on the 6th. The podcast from last week's show is up at the Rough Riders Facebook page. I think I just saw them post that yesterday. It's also up at the KRNA YouTube page. I'm joined up on stage by 4 people tonight, head coach Mark Carlson, but also players Chase Blackman, Yuri Patera, and Ilya Sushko. Did I do a good job with the pronunciations, guys?
Yeah.
All right. Coach, you can even go online nowadays and get the pronunciations for about anything. You just type it in.
I do. I did a good job.
I did some research ahead of time. Quality. I want to make sure I was prepared. So we're going to start off. We want to get right into it since we have 3 players this week. We want to make sure we're having a good use of time. Let's start with player bios and introductions. So tell us about yourself, where you're from, and how you got here to Cedar Rapids. Yuri, I'll start on your end.
I'm from Prague, from Czech Republic. I got to Cedar Rapids. I talked to my advisor because I wanted to play in North America, and Cedar Rapids was the best place for me, so I ended up here.
Chase, how about you? How'd you get here to Cedar Rapids with the Rough Riders, and where are you from?
I'm from Hudson, Wisconsin, and I got picked in this last year's draft, so that's how I came here.
And then Ilya and Coach, you guys will be sharing a mic. Ilya, how'd you get here to Cedar Rapids, and where are you from?
I'm from Belarus, and we played on World Junior in Germany, and then my advisor he told me I have opportunity to go to USA, and we have a good chance in Cedar Rapids, and good team, good coach, and it's a really good opportunity for me to develop, to improve my game.
Now I heard that all 3 of you guys ride together. Is that true? You guys are ride buddies?
It is.
And I also heard that Yuri, Chase, you kind of help Ilya out from time to time, just in case, if I had a question that might trip him up. You guys are here to back him up, support him. Is that true?
For sure.
All right.
So Yuri too, probably. But
okay, you guys have backup then. Chase, you're helping out everybody. All right.
That's right.
As far as Ilya, how did you learn English? Just in that answer, you speak pretty fluent English. Seems like you've got it down. How did you learn?
I speak a lot with my family because we always talking. We always talking with talking about something. I'm speaking a lot with my teammates. They support me. They help me. It's really improved my English.
Now, Yuri, I read that your mom always kind of stressed the importance of English and that you had to learn it early on. Is that true?
Yeah, she always told me that English is the most popular language in the world. So.
And now in a theme that seems to keep carrying over from show to show, I also heard Yuri, that maybe video games help you learn English?
Yeah.
Like you picked up some from that?
Yeah.
Coach, I'm telling you, week after week, you're going to have to change your stance on these video games. I think we had some positivity last week. Now we're learning a new language because of video games.
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. As far as, I'll stick with you with this one, Coach. We have two guys from overseas up on the panel tonight. When it comes to scouting and looking at these players that are overseas, is it a different process than when you recruit or scout a guy that's domestic that's here in the States? How's that process look?
Yeah, it can be a little bit different with both Yuri and Ilya. We were able to see both of them on tape a little bit too because they had played in some international events. And then, as they both mentioned, there might be a little bit more communication with their advisors and those kinds of things. And so those are two things that might be a little bit different.
Now, Yuri, I read that you had a pretty unique opportunity this past fall. You got to play alongside or practice alongside an NHL player. You want to tell us a little bit about that, what that experience was like?
How was Vegas camp?
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool.
I heard you even got a compliment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? What was that like?
I made one pretty good save, I think, at the end of scrimmage game, and Marc-Andre Fleury came to me and he said, like, that was a sick save. I was, like, kind of excited about it.
So was that the highlight of your fall?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Chase, I know that you're committed to play collegiate hockey at Massachusetts Lowell, correct?
Yep.
What went into that decision? How'd you decide to play your hockey there?
Well, I went and toured this summer, and I really liked all the facilities and the coaches, and it has a great education, and it just seemed kind of like the right fit. Kind of just had that feel that that's where I want to spend 4 years, so I'm excited.
Now with you guys, you both live together, right?
Yeah.
Chase and Yuri?
Yep.
What's house life like? Who do you live with? Who's your housing family? And what's it like being roommates?
I think I have the best roommate I can ever have.
Wow. That's big praise, Chase.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun. We live with Sue and Al Allard, and our roommate, or our billet brother, Eric. We all get along really well, and me and Yuri have a good time, and it's been nice to have such a great friend at the house. It kind of makes everything easier, so it's been great.
Now, I did get some information, some background info like I do usually every week, and I think from your housing family, they said you guys are both learning or maybe just already learned playing instruments. Is that right?
I try to play piano.
Piano?
Yeah.
Chase, I heard guitar, right?
I'm working on it.
Working on it. So then that brings up the possibility of like a Rough Riders boy band. Is that going to happen? I've heard that.
We might have to.
Might have to do a Rough Riders boy band.
Ilya might be our singer.
Yeah.
Ilya, would you join a Rough Riders boy band? Would you join them in singing?
Yeah, I can sing.
You have a good singing voice? All right. See, everything's coming together. Coach, did you know? I always try to surprise you each and every week with something that maybe you don't know about these players. Did you know you might have a Riders boy band?
No, I learned something today. This is good.
Now, guys, if you were to have a Rough Riders boy band, what would be the name? Like multiple directions instead of one direction, or what would you guys call it?
I think Chase would name it something like Chase and the Others.
Chase and the Others. Chase, can you confirm that would be a leader as far as the name is concerned?
I guess it might have to be.
Okay. How about the other thing I heard were pulling pranks in the house since you guys lived together? I heard about one thing in particular where there were like glasses of water on the floor. You did that? Is that true?
Well, all the Bell brothers started, so it was, yeah, we kind of did a, tell them about it.
Chase, do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, so me and Yuri we're teammates, kind of. So we pranked our billet brother, and we bought 240 red Solo cups from Walmart and filled them up with water and put them in his room. We saran wrapped his bed. We put some water over the door, so when he opened it, it fell on him. We've had some good ones, but he likes to wake us up when he wakes up early for work, so he's gotten us back.
So how does he take that?
Good. Yeah, it's all in good fun.
All in good fun.
Only a couple hurt feelings, but it happens.
That's fine. Coach, in your years of coaching, do you have a favorite prank? Something you've heard come down the line that you said, "Wow, that's a good one."
Yeah, I don't know, this might still go on, I'm not sure, but years ago that we would have not as many players were committed, like when they arrived to college.
Yep.
So there'd be more guys that were getting recruited early on. Mm-hmm. And one year we had a couple guys, they called up one of the players on our team, and they were kind of imposter style, like they were actually a head coach at a Division I school.
Yeah.
And they actually asked the player, the guy acting like the coach told the player that, I'm coming through town, going through the league, and I'd really like to meet you at the arena tomorrow for a one-on-one, conversation. We really like you as a player, and when we meet with the players, we always request that they wear a suit, to the meeting.
Yep.
So we had one of our guys showed up for practice, full suit, and there was no coach from the Division I school at the building. It was just a couple of our players that fooled this guy. So
I think that's what the young kids call savage. That's pretty savage. Would you guys agree? Is that like in another world of pranks? Is that pretty legit? Chase, Yuri, you guys think?
That's pretty intense.
That's pretty intense, yeah. Would you guys ever even consider doing that? Would that have been something that would have been in your mind even before Coach brought it up? Like, hey, this is a way we could get a teammate for sure.
I think it's too bad.
It's too bad. Yuri says it's too bad. Okay. Ilya, I'll stick with you on this one. What are your thoughts on Cedar Rapids? What do you think of Cedar Rapids when you got here, coming from overseas and coming here to the United States?
When I arrived, it was very scary for me. Yeah, it's a new challenge, new experience for me. It's my first time in USA. I never been here, but my family really helped me. They show me Cedar Rapids. It's a pretty good city. My friends help me. We just go into Walmart or go into another place. Yeah, it's a good city, and it's very different with Europe country. It's really different like mentality, very different people, more smiling, they ask you how are you, or different things. Yeah, it's very different from Europe.
Now your brother also plays hockey, right?
Yeah, he plays in Canada.
Now I heard that your housing family kind of surprised you a while back and took you on a trip to see him play up in Michigan, is that right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, I was so excited because it was a really good surprise for me. It's really helped me because I miss my family, miss my brother, and they made this trip for me. They go on with me, and my brother meet my family, and he told me, probably have the best family in your team.
Wow, that's a big compliment. That's pretty cool. Are they here tonight? Yeah, let's give a round of applause. Coach, I know we're talking about housing families and how important they are overall, but this seems like a good topic when you have guys, especially guys who come internationally from overseas. How big is it to have a housing family that can take them in and deal with sometimes what is a language barrier, culture barrier, all of that stuff?
Yeah, well, it's real important, and Janelle Banowitz is here tonight. She's our housing coordinator here, and she does a great job of, matching, the guys up, and especially with with what Ilya was saying, if they don't speak English when they when they first come over here, it helps to be able to converse with the family. Helps the guys learn English. And we Tammy and we housed in our boys Sergei Kolosov years ago, and when he first got here, he didn't speak not even one word. You know Sergei a little bit, right? Yeah. You know Sergei a little bit, and as most people know, my lovely wife, she likes to talk a lot. So
I said that was said in the most complimentary way possible.
Yeah, so her and the boys and Sergei, they were just, and Sergei learned English very, fairly quickly because there was a lot of conversing in the Carlson household. So
now I also want to thank the housing families, in addition to providing homes for the players, also giving me these insider information each and every week too. That's where most of the information slides through. So I want to thank them for that. And that's a good segue. Stick around in a few minutes. I think that of the lists I've gotten thus far this year, the story that I got on one of these guys is probably the best, funniest of the year thus far. Coach, stay tuned for this one. Yeah, we're going to get into the gauntlet coming up, the speed round. But before we do that, 2 games coming up this weekend for the Riders in kind of a crazy, weird little scheduling thing. Friday, they're at home against Dubuque, Mascot Mania, and then Saturday, they head right back up to Dubuque to face them on the road. Guys, I'll start with that. When we look at the home game Friday, it's Mascot Mania. Do you guys have a favorite mascot? It can be from a pro team, college team, maybe a team back in your home country, anything that comes to mind. Yuri, I'll start with you.
I don't really have a favorite mascot.
No favorite mascot? How about you, Chase?
I don't know. I'm not a huge mascot guy. Maybe any of the Minnesota mascots, Skull Vikes.
Okay, there you go. Got a Vikings pub in there. Elio, with mascots, you're okay if you don't want to answer this one. Nothing on mascots?
I don't know, but I think probably our Rough Riders mascot's the best.
There you go, yeah. Big round of applause for that. You know he's right behind you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is, yeah. Coach, is that your answer, too? Automatic?
Yeah, he stole my thunder on that one.
Yeah, he got you on that one.
All right.
How about Chase? I heard that you used to have super long hair, was how it was phrased. Like down shoulder length, is that right?
I had some for all, yeah.
Yeah? What made you cut it?
I don't know. I just want to switch it up, I guess. It's just after the hockey season, so I kind of time to, cut it.
Were you kind of famous for your hair? Did people know? Like, hey, Chase has got a pretty good do.
I don't know about famous, but people knew I had long hair, but it's kind of, a lot of hockey players had it on our team, so.
Now, usually every week, in addition to the stuff that I get sent from the housing families, I'll do a little research on my own, and sometimes I'll just randomly type your guys' names into Google, YouTube, whatever. Sometimes some crazy stuff pops up, like promotional videos, and other times it's pretty tame, pretty pedestrian. Ilya, I know this isn't you that's in this video, but when I typed in your exact name, there's a guy who comes up on YouTube who's like shredding a guitar. Absolutely shredding a guitar, like doing metal style.
No, it's not me.
It's not you? Okay, so we can confirm. Because what threw me off is the guy, the video is only from his neck down, because he wanted to, show the guitar. So I was like, I don't think this is our Ilya, but I might be. It might be, but it isn't. You're confirming, right? That is not you?
No, it's exactly not me.
Coach, Coach, you should go home tonight and pull that up on YouTube. That's some shredding. I'm telling you, even though it's not your player, pretty impressive, nonetheless.
Want to check it out?
You got to check it out. Yuri, one of the things I was told, you have a favorite saying, something you say all the time. Do you know what people are talking about?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes they speak too fast for me, but.
Do you want to say it? Do you want to let everyone know what your favorite saying is?
Well, usually when our boat mom says something, she cooks something good, so I always say something like, "It's so good."
It's so, and you let so, like you drag so out, yeah.
Yeah, she loves that.
Yeah, she likes it, yeah. How do you do it? Like, you got to give us an idea. So let's say you eat something that's really good at home. What's it sound like?
Like, "Shoot, it's so good."
Yeah, there we go, yeah. So what's one of your favorite meals that would get that reaction automatically? You'd say that about?
Some steak for sure.
Steak, yeah, that's true. How about Chase? How about your favorite meal at home?
I definitely like steak. Sue made some chicken Marcello, it's called. The other day, it's pretty good.
And Ilya, how about your favorite thing to eat? Your favorite meal? I'll hand the mic to you here too. No, you're fine.
Yep, my favorite meal is steak too, but before game, my Billy Dad cooked me pasta and chicken, and it's probably my favorite pasta and chicken in my life.
Man, that is impressive. See, the housing family is getting a lot of ego boost tonight, big time. How about, we talked about you guys all ride together. Favorite song to play in the car, like something you just jam out to when you're riding maybe over here to the Lowdown on Ridertown or to the rink?
Well, Chase has a house car, so we have to listen to his songs.
Is that, you got a house seat, like a house mix, Chase?
Oh, I got my own playlist, but yeah, I usually control the music.
Okay.
All the time.
All the time, Yuri says. What are some of the songs on that playlist?
I don't know what I should. Very appropriate songs.
Very appropriate. Okay. Yep. Team appropriate. All things. Yep. For sure.
Yep.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get hyped up when you're driving to the rink. It's all good.
Yuri likes his Eminem, so we'll listen to Eminem sometimes.
Okay.
He's more of like he likes the old music that went out of style like 10 years ago, but it's okay.
Okay. You guys don't play any like coaches classics, do you? Like you don't play Journey or any of that? None of that?
No.
Okay. Bruce Springsteen, none of that? Nothing? Okay. How about favorite hobby that you guys do together in your downtime when you're not playing hockey? Yuri, I'll start with you.
Well, we try to play golf, but I suck at it, so.
Okay. So golf, but you're not real good at it.
Not at all.
Chase, how about you?
The golf was pretty fun. It's quite the swing for Yuri. The first time we went, he rented clubs, so they were lefty. And then the next time he didn't want to spend money, so he used righty clubs. So that's how.
So I probably didn't go real well then.
Around, yeah. But golf was fun. Yeah.
Ilya, is there anything you like to do off the ice, a hobby, something you enjoy doing?
I'm usually spend time with my family, and probably we played hockey downstairs. Already played hockey because my small billet sister playing hockey too, and she really likes hockey. A lot of guys come into our house, and we play hockey downstairs. Probably, I don't know, we can play 3 or 4 hours, and it's pretty fun.
Okay, now I'm going to stay with you on this one, Ilya. This is a story that I heard about you. I'm just calling it the grocery store story. Do you know where I'm going with this one?
No.
Okay. So here's what I heard. I'm going to make a brief summary. So you went with your housing family with their daughter to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And she gave you some money, said, hey, get some stuff that you like to eat or whatnot. And so you guys came back from the grocery store, gave her the change and the receipt. So then she was looking at the receipt later, and she noticed on the receipt, like where they list out the items that you guys bought, that it said Magnum. That's all it said on the receipt, just Magnum. So she was a little concerned because she didn't know what was going on for sure. And then she found out later that it was actually Magnum ice cream. Yeah. So I'll ask you 2 questions. When she told you about this, did you know why she was so amused? Like, did you know why it was funny?
No, first of all, I don't understand about what my...
That's good.
Yeah, I don't understand what she told me, but then she just showed me what is that. Yeah, and I was so laughing. Yeah, because... it was really funny because but now when we just remind this story, we just laughing because I don't know what to say about this story because it's not my fault.
Yeah, that's bad naming from the ice cream company standpoint. I don't know why they named that.
I'm just like ice cream.
Yeah. Was the ice cream good? Was it good ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah. What flavor of ice cream was it?
I like with white chocolate.
White chocolate. Okay, that's good. Coach, did you? By the sound in you, by the look on your face and the sound, you didn't know this story, right?
No, I did not. I did not know this, but the weekly show this year is really picking up the way we're.
It really is.
We're doing this.
We are finding some stuff. I'm telling you, we are digging deep. Guys, did you know that story? No. Yuri, did you, when you came over here, did you have any like weird stories with pronunciations or with translations or something that really kind of tripped you up when you came over here to the States?
Yeah, some of those guys tried to alert me when someone sneezed to say like open the door.
Okay.
But Chase is helping me out with some words.
So that's another little prank, right? Another little thing. Okay. As far as I heard that with you, Chase, and you, Yuri, living together, that you think there might be ghosts in your guys' house? No?
Sue tries to tell me that, but that kind of freaks me out, so I try to say that it's not true.
Okay. Ilya, I heard that you were the favorite child in the house, that your brothers and sisters in the housing family kind of joke with you and say you're the favorite? They like you the best?
Yeah, of course I'm a favorite child.
Of course. Why do you think that is?
My birth mom told me this.
Oh, there you go. So it's on the record. It's on the record. Okay, as we get toward the end here and start to wrap up, Yuri, I heard that you have a sweet tooth. You like candy?
Yeah, I love that.
And I also heard that you will tell anyone that it's healthy. So good for you, no problems?
No, she was always telling me that it's healthy.
She told your housing? She told you it's healthy?
Yeah, I always ask her, like, is it healthy, right? And she's like, yeah, Yuri, of course.
Okay.
So I don't feel bad for it.
What's your favorite candy?
I like Oreos.
Oreos?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Some of the players are saying that's not candy. That's a fraudulent answer. They're saying that's not going to work.
Sour Pouches?
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids? Yeah, that's legitimate candy. Yeah, for sure. Chase, do you have a favorite candy as long as we're on this line of questioning?
Yeah, I like Sour Patch Kids. I like Kit Kat. That's candy or chocolate.
Yeah, that counts. Ilya, I know you like ice cream. Do you have a favorite candy?
No, I don't like candy, but I like cheesecake.
Okay. You're living the high life. This is good, yeah. This is good. Coach, do you have a favorite candy? Something that comes to mind?
Yeah, I'm boring compared to these guys. No, I'm just going to go Reese's Cups.
All right.
That's my deal.
All right, as we wrap up, guys, Coach, before I ask these guys their final thoughts, I'll get your thoughts on this weekend's action and what you're looking forward to. You have 2 games, but against the same opponent.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're getting prepared here this week, so looking forward to Friday against Dubuque.
And then, guys, I've done the research, got the stuff from the housing families and whatnot. Anything that I left out, any stories you guys want to throw out there? We tried to cover all the bases. Anything that comes to mind for you guys?
No, nothing.
All right. We covered candy. We covered Magnum ice cream. We covered cheesecake. Got some pranks in there. I think it's a pretty good show overall, Coach. Yeah?
Yeah, top
Quality,
shelf,
Coach.
top shelf.
Guys, we want to thank you all for coming here for the Triple Threat Theme podcast and the Lowdown on Ridertown. Thanks, guys, for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.
A reminder to stick around as we do Valentines for Vets at the end here. This podcast, this audio of this will be up this weekend. We'll post it to KRNA's YouTube page, K-Hawk's YouTube page, and then also the Rough Riders repost it too. So keep your eyes on that this weekend, and usually the Riders post it the start of the following week. So it should be up. Once again, a reminder, there is not a Lowdown on Ridertown show next Tuesday, February 6th. We're going to take that off. The Riders have a road game the following day, but we'll be back right in action here at the Union Station on February 13th for another Lowdown on Ridertown. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.